All right, so welcome to this episode of In the Trenches. I'm Dan Dowdy, leadership coach. I'm here with Michael Sauer. He's a sales and relationship coach, also a good friend of mine. And recently we were talking about just building relationships. You know, Michael, I have a lot of clients out there who ask me, hey, Dan, do you do sales training for our technicians? And you and I were having a conversation about social styles, started putting the two and two together. And thought, what a great guest to have on here to talk about how both leaders, technicians in your family life, like how can you accelerate that trust and rapport that you build with the people that are around you. And so today we're going to talk a little bit, we're going to have a high level dive into the social styles. I can't talk today, the social styles. And we're going to do a multiple part series about this. So today our goal is to give y'all, everybody watching, one takeaway. So first, Michael, welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm really excited to be here.
Awesome. And if anybody that knows Michael out there knows that he's certified in literally everything. So I don't want to go through everything, but Michael, tell us a little bit about what got you into the social styles to get certified. Just tell us a story about that.
Sure, of course. So growing up, my father introduced me to the golden rule, which is, of course, treat others the way that you want to be treated. And I remember I'd be having conversations with my dad, and my dad and I would be emailing back and forth. And I remember he would always start his emails with a personal thing first. Hey, I'm going golfing this weekend. And then he'd always get down to business. And then when I would reply, I would always go, well, here's the business related part, and congratulations on going golfing, and I hope you get a great time. And for whatever reason, it took me the longest time to realize that there are different people and we just have different wants. And when I was introduced to social styles, that's what kind of put all the pieces together for me. And simply asking two questions or answering two questions, you can determine some things really quickly. Do they want to do business first stuff, or do they want to do personal stuff first? And really, we've been talking about social styles for, I want to say, 6 years at this point, and I've spent probably over 1,000 hours getting certified in this and continuing to kind of hone my craft and work with people. But the reason why I think this is such an important thing is there's something called the platinum rule. So again, we've all heard of the golden rule, but the platinum rule, which is actually the company that came up with social styles, is the one that I'm aware of that actually developed this. Is the platinum rule is treat others the way that they want to be treated. Well, how do you determine how someone else wants to be treated? The golden rule is easy. I know how I want to be treated, so I can simply try and treat you that way. But how would I know how you would want to be treated? So again, simply asking and answering two questions, I would be able to determine more likely than not that this is how you'd want to be interacted with. And I would then try and communicate with you that way. And if it works, well, then great. And then if it doesn't work, well, then I would have tools to then go ahead and adjust to try and reconnect with you. But that's the purpose of social styles. It's really just communicating to people the way that they want to be communicated with.
I love it. I love it. And listening to you speak, I'm thinking everybody watching is probably like, wow, this is going to be great for my marriage, right? And
absolutely.
But today we're talking directly to the home service business owner, but realize this information can be used in any relationship, whether it's you and I as friends or us working with a client out there. So I'm excited. Let's dive right in. Michael, before you do, one thing I hear a lot from technicians that are out there interacting with customers is that I talk myself out of the sale. So I want to, yes. I know we're going to get to that, but let's start with what's the first step, the simplest step people can start doing when it comes to starting to build that trust, that relationship with the customer that they're in front of?
So I think that everyone's heard of the phrase mirroring. And again, whether you've ever gone on a date before or perhaps a tech, I've had the opportunity of actually mirroring techs that have gone into houses. And I've noticed that generally, if the homeowner is acting a certain way, I'll often see the tech try to mirror and act the exact same way. So really social styles is mirroring to the next level. But simple things like, if the person that you're speaking to is making eye contact with you, go ahead and make eye contact with them. If they tend to look away or sort of look down, then you should sort of do the exact same thing. If they're talking in a fast and loud way, kind of how I'm talking, then you'd want to try and mirror that. However, they may be talking in a slower, softer tone, which again, that's really challenging for me to do, but that's what social styles is. It's called versatility. So if you identify how someone wants to be talked to and someone's talking in a slower, softer tone, if you generally will mirror that, we've often found that the closing percentage for a lot of those texts tends to skyrocket.
Wow. Yeah, that's so important. And even just doing a video conference like this, I mean, we were talking earlier, if I'm sitting back, laid back, and you're up close,
right. If I'm like this, it's just, something's off. It's just, I'm not able to connect with you. But if we're about the same size, then I go, do you know what? He's the type of person that I would want to interact with. So I'm going to let you continue with your conversation. But you did mention texts often talk themselves out of a sale. Mm-hmm. And part of the reason why that happens is through social styles. And again, I'm really excited to do a multi-part series on this. Because there's 4 quadrants, there's essentially 4 different types of people and they all want something different. So for example, if I wanted to make a decision, I like a tech to give me with options. So if a tech comes in, so for example, my water heater went out. I came home one day, water was pouring out of my garage. So called a tech came over and I go, okay, what are my options? He goes, well, you can go tankless or you can go regular water heater. And I go, okay, give me quick pros and cons. Super efficient, gave me the answers. I go, tankless, let's do it. Didn't care what it cost. I think I'm probably the easiest client for a tech to. Didn't care, but I had my options and I was ready to go. Now, other types of people want testimonials. Okay, I want to talk to prior clients that have gotten a tankless water heater versus a regular one. I want to hear from them. I want to see why they think that it was good or why you were a good company to install those things. Another type of person likes guarantees. So, our tech company or a home service company, we're going to guarantee this tankless water heater for X amount of years, which is 1 year above the recommendation, whatever it is, they want to hear that. And then the last is really just evidence. So here's all the info that you need to know about a tankless water heater or regular. So the interesting thing is I can identify someone's social styles, I'd say in less than 10 seconds. And I have many, many years of practice. And as soon as I identify that particular social style, I know how they want to be talked to. So if I can work with a tech and a tech can quickly, let's just say it takes them 2 minutes to figure out someone's social style, then they go, okay, this person wants options or this person wants guarantees. And if they can talk their language, again, we've seen their closing percentages skyrocket.
Wow. Yeah, it's so cool. And I know you're starting to dive a little deeper and we want to wait till the next episode so we don't give too much information.
I'm so adamant about social styles.
Yeah, I mean, the main takeaway that I'm getting right now is just the whole mirroring, matching pace and tone, certain things like that. We can teach our technicians or our leaders around us right away that, hey, this is something that's actually that people do. And the funny thing is like if you were to sit at a restaurant and watch 2 people who had great rapport, maybe it was a husband and a wife, a lot of times they subconsciously, without even knowing it, they're mirroring each other. So right. People out there watching this, pay attention to that. Sometimes you'll actually, now that you know it, that this exists, you're going to be sitting across from your friend and you're automatically going to be mirroring them or cross mirroring them. And you'll start laughing because it's a natural rapport that you built. So what we're trying to do is just teach you how to accelerate that with people that you haven't really met before as well. Mm-hmm. And so this is great information. And Michael, so just in closing, we have a few minutes left. Just kind of wrap it all up, this episode of what you truly want everybody watching to take away.
I think that because we are going to be doing a multi-part series, I think it'd be good for people to actually start observing people, just like you said. Now, I know at least here in California, our restaurants only just recently opened, but okay. When I was traveling quite a bit, going in airports, sitting in bars, just watching people, the reason why I've spent so many hours doing social styles is because the more that I observe, the better that I'm getting and the faster I'm able to do it. So some things that I love for some of your viewers to start to observe, again, they can do this with their family members. They can do this driving around. They can do this in restaurants as they start opening. Essentially, observe someone and determine, do they use a lot of gestures with their hands? Do they use a lot of hand gestures, or they tend to not gesture quite a bit? Do they make direct eye contact, or do they not make direct eye contact? Do they tend to walk and move very quickly? Do they tend to kind of move more slowly? If you start to kind of observe that there's those variations, if you can kind of get in your mind and solidify, okay, I know Bob, my neighbor, and he tends to kind of move generally slowly. And my wife, for example, may talk really, really quickly. As soon as you can identify that, as you watch the rest of the series, you're going to be able to put it all together, and you're going to be able to apply this.
Man, this is great info. Michael, thank you again for being on the show. Just for everybody watching out there, we're doing these short little 10-minute episodes really to bring a lot of value in a little short time, because we know everybody's busy and working. And so we want to hear from you, though. We want to know that you like this. We want to see you interact in the questions, ask us questions. I know Michael would love to interact after this on the Facebook feed. If you're looking for us, we're at builtforthetrades.com, but also be sure to reach out to us here on social media. And Michael, once again, thank you for being on the show. And I hope you have a great day, and everybody out there have a great rest of your Friday.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks, everybody.